بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam. Every human being has in him the desire to go after, achieve, grab what is beneficial to him and to run away, stay away from what is harmful to him. When a person sees a bear, he runs in the opposite direction. Some will call this self-preservation. This is basically how Allah Azza wa Jal has created us, and this is how we function. And governments use this to enforce policies and laws. A police officer will give a ticket if you are speeding. So to control the speed limit, and we want to protect ourselves from that $100 hefty fine. So what do? We stay within the speed limit. Similarly, teachers will use this with their students for positive and negative reinforcement. If the student does something that he or she is supposed to do, that student will be rewarded. And if they do something they're not supposed to do, the student will be punished, timeout, whatnot. So governments use this against, one country will use this if another country does not do what the U.S. government wants it to do. It can impose sanctions. This is called, in the world of diplomacy, carrot and stick. And if you do what the government wants you to do, then they will reward you. You will be on the preferred list of financial aid. So countries use this against one another. Teacher-student relationship, government policies. It's all what we call in Arabic jalbul manfa'ah and daf'ud darar, that you go after what is beneficial to you, what you find rewarding, and you stay away from what is harmful to you. Allah Azza wa Jal uses the same carrot and stick policy with us. We look in the Quran, there's Jannah and Jahannam. If you do good, this is what will happen. If you do evil, well, these are the consequences of your evil. And in the month of Ramadan, if we were simply told to fast, end of sentence, fast, we being makhluk, Allah being Khaliq, the creator, and we the creation, Him being the master, we being the slave, we would have no option, we would have no choice but to fast. But not only does Allah tell us simply to fast, He gives us an incentive to fast. He will dangle the carrot in front of us and say, listen, if you fast, I will reward you with this. What will Allah reward us with? Man sama imanan wa ihtisaban. The person who fasts with faith and conviction, in other words, belief in Allah Azza wa Jal, wa ihtisaban, seeking reward from Allah. In other words, he's not fasting to lose weight. He is not fasting because other people are fasting around him. He is not fasting because he is on a hunger strike and he wants to prove a point to the government. He is not fasting to detox his body. He is fasting ihtisaban, solely and solely for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah Azza wa Jal, what will Allah do for him? غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِ. Allah Azza wa Jal will forgive his sins for him. And what else? What else will Allah do? How else will Allah reward you for fasting in this upcoming month of Ramadan? This is the season of mercy. Futihat abwabul Jannah, the gates of Jannah are open. Futihat abwabus Sama, the gates of heaven are open. And Futiha Abwabul Rahma, the gates of mercy are open. Wa ghullikat abwabul Jannah, the gates of Jahannam are shut. In other words, this is the season in which Allah's mercy descends upon us wholesale. Not drip by drip, but Allah pours His mercy, His barakah, His blessings on us. It is only for us to take advantage of it. Like you have a ski season, or you have a hunting season, you have election season, you have a barbecue season. This is the season for Allah's mercy to descend upon us. And we have to make use and put ourselves in that position where we benefit from this season of Allah's mercy in this month of Ramadan. What else will happen? Sufidat shayateen or sulsilat shayateen. The shayateen, they are chained, they are put under lock and key, they are handcuffed. We sometimes forget that the children, the progeny of Adam alayhi salam and the progeny of Iblis are in a constant warfare. This is not a cold war, this is a hot war, a never-ending war between the children of Adam and the progeny of Iblis. And he has certain advantages over us in this warfare. What is the advantage? One advantage Quran mentions, Innahu yarakum, he and his Qabila, his tribe, Innahu yarakum wa qabiluhu, him and his tribe, they see you. Min haythu la tarawnahum, and you, O children of Adam, do not see them. Imagine this huge disadvantage that we cannot see our enemy. We cannot see Shaitan, and Shaitan can see us. But in this month, Allah Azza wa Jal gives us the advantage. He gives us the upper hand. What does He do for us? He basically ties the hands of Shaitan behind his back. Imagine you enter the wrestling ring and your opponent, his hands are tied behind his back. How easy is it for you in this wrestling match to knock down your opponent? Very easy. Because his hands are tied. Shaitan, his hands are tied. He has a disadvantage in this month of Ramadan. He cannot tempt us. He cannot distract us. What else? Allah Azza wa Jal, He dangles this carrot in front of us. Kullu amal ibn Adam yuda'aful hasana bi ashari amthaliha ila sab'i mi'ati di'fin. In every other month, Quran says, Man ja'a bil hasanati falahu asharu amthaliha. Whoever comes with one good deed, I will reward him with 10. In this month of Ramadan, Allah Azza wa Jal starts the pay grade from 700 for every one good deed. Allah starts from 700, but that's only the beginning. There is no end. There is no limit. Allah Azza wa Jal in one hadith says, As-sawmu li, fasting is for me. Wa ana ajzi bihi, and I will give the reward for it. Imagine the reward. Allah is saying, I will give the reward. If Allah is giving the reward, we can only imagine, or probably not even imagine what the reward is. And fasting, what does it mean? Fasting is for me. Well, what about salah? What about hajj? Well, when you go for hajj, the whole community knows that you have gone for hajj. And when you return from hajj, you have the grand title of al-hajj. And when you come for Jummah prayer, people know that you have come for Jummah prayer. But fasting is such that no one knows that you are fasting. As a matter of fact, if you are not fasting, no one knows that you are not fasting unless you tell them that you are not fasting. No one can see what's in your stomach. Only Allah Azza wa Jal knows whether you are fasting or not. So fasting is solely for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. And in another reading of this same hadith, fasting is for me and I give the reward. Fasting is for me and I am the reward. In other words, Allah Himself is the reward. Imagine, to help us understand, Khalifa Mamun Rashid, once he announced to his servants in the palace that whoever puts their hand on whatever they put their hand on, he opened the national treasury and said whoever puts their hand, whatever they put their hand on is theirs to keep. So one servant ran and put his hand on an expensive rug. Another ran and put her hand on an expensive necklace. One slave girl, she was standing there and she stepped forward and put her hand on the head of the Khalifa Mamun Rashid and said, I want you. People were astonished. What is this disrespect? She said, I want you. If I have you, I have the whole kingdom. If we have Allah, we have everything that Allah has. So in this month from fasting, Allah is saying that I am the reward. You get me. I am your reward. Imagine if we get Allah Azza wa Jal. When we visit a friend in another state who we have not visited for 20 years, a dear friend, we might have heard that he has a nice big fancy house, but we spend money on an airline ticket, we take time out from work to go visit him. Why? To see his house? No, we go visit him because of our friendship, our relationship with him, our bond with him. And when we go to visit our friend, then he will put us in the best room available in his house, and that is the guest room. So similarly, Allah Azza wa Jal, we want Allah, these good deeds that we perform are for Allah Azza wa Jal, and Jannah is Allah's guest room, and we get to stay in Jannah, that is Allah's guest room, but we do it for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. And moving on, what else will Allah do for us in this month? Allah Azza wa Jal states that wala khalufu famis sa'im atyabu indallahi min rihil misk. The foul smell, the bad breath coming out of the mouth of a fasting person is more dear to Allah, min rihil misk, than the fragrance of musk. Imagine the most beautiful smell, fragrance is the fragrance of musk. One explanation is that the actual foul smell is more dear to Allah than the fragrance of musk. And another explanation is that on the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal, when we rise up from our graves, shaking dirt from our hair, will replace whatever smell from our mouth with the fragrance of musk. In this world, we pop Tic Tacs into our mouth and we put different mouth fresheners to freshen the breath of our mouth. Allah Azza wa Jal will make it so that the smell of musk will be coming out from our mouths on the day of judgment. This is the reward Allah Azza wa Jal gives for the fasting person. This is the reward. This is the targheeb and tarheeb, where Allah Azza wa Jal, He counts off the fadail, the virtues, that this is what you will get if you do good. Wa'da and wa'id, promise and warning, targheeb and tarheeb, encouragement and warning. Allah Azza wa Jal is encouraging us that this is what I will do for you. What else? لِلصَّائِمِ farhatan. A fasting person has two joyous occasions to look forward to. Farhatun inda fitrihi. He is looking forward to the time when he is going to break fast. He is happy when he's about to break fast. He is joyous. He has completed a commandment of Allah and the goodies are in front of him and his fast is almost over in a minute or two. And the second joyous occasion that a fasting person can look forward to is in the liqa'i rabbihi, when he is about to meet his Lord, when he is standing in front of his Lord. In other words, on the day of judgment, he will not be nervous, he will not be embarrassed, he will not feel guilty, he will not feel awkward, he will not feel ashamed. He will be happy to meet Allah Azza wa Jal. This is the reward for a fasting person. What else? يُزَيِّنُ لَهُ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ جَنَّتُهُ. His Jannah, every person has a personal Jannah. His or her Jannah will be beautified for him every day in this month of Ramadan. It will be adorned. It will be more plastered with goodies for us. This is similar to when a guest is coming to our house. We do a thorough cleaning. We say, clean the house, guests are coming. Clean the house, guests are coming. And what else? تَسْتَغْفِرُ لَهُ الْحِيتَانِ. The most innocent of creatures, the fish in the water, they seek forgiveness for this fasting person. And يَنْظُرُ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى إِلَىٰ تَنَافُسِكُمْ فِي. Allah Azza wa Jal is looking at your competition with each other. Allah wants you to compete in this month of Ramadan, and the family should compete. He has read 1 juz, mashallah. She has read 2 juz, mashallah. Tanafusukum. And what else? In this month of Ramadan, yubahi bikumul malaika. Allah Azza wa Jal will boast in front of the angels regarding us. What is He going to boast about? What is there to boast about in this month of Ramadan? If you remember the ayah of the Quran in Surah Baqarah, where Allah Azza wa Jal announces to the angels that inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa, I am going to create a human being, the vicegerent on earth. And the angels, they raised an objection, a question. They said, qalu أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك. Oh Allah, are you going to create Adam? Are you going to create the human species They are going to spread corruption and chaos and destruction on earth. وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاء, and they are going to shed blood. 54 million people were killed in World War II. They are going to shed blood. وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. We sing your praise. We glorify you day and night. Why is there a need to create the human being? Then Allah Azza wa Jal gave one answer that many parents give to their children. Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know best. I know what you do not know. That was one answer. There is another answer that Allah gave in Surah Baqarah, a demonstrative answer. But here in this month of Ramadan, Allah Azza wa Jal will boast to the angels that you raised an objection many years ago, that why am I creating the human being? Look, this is why I have created this human being. This human being, he feels the pangs of hunger. He feels the thirst. His throat is parched dry. It is hot outside. And he, if he chooses, can eat or drink and no one will find out. But he will abstain from food for my pleasure. This is the accomplishment of this children of the child of Adam alayhi salam. While you, the angels, you don't eat, but the fact of the matter is you don't feel hungry. You don't drink, but the fact of the matter is you don't even feel thirsty to begin with. If you tell someone who does not have hands, don't pickpocket, and he does not pickpocket, well, he cannot pickpocket to begin with. He does not have hands to pickpocket. You tell a person who feels hungry not to eat, and he does not eat for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. This is truly an accomplishment for the children of Adam alayhi salam. Yubahi bikumul malaika. Allah Azza wa Jal boasts about us in front of the angels in this month of Ramadan. And what else? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Aruni min anfusikum khayra. Show your best self in this month of Ramadan. Do the best you can. We sometimes ask that our children, that do the best you can. Show me your best work. Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, put your best foot forward. When you go for a job interview, you don't tell the interviewer, I'm really not a morning person. I don't know if I'll be making it on time to work. You don't tell the interviewer that, I'm really not a team player. No, you highlight your strength. You highlight your strong points. Allah Azza wa Jal is asking us, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam is instructing us that go the extra mile, do the best you can, show Allah your best. What is the best you can? Pray your best salah, pray, make your best fast, give your best sadaqah, do the best you can. This is the month of forgiveness. Unfortunately, some of us, we have made it about the month of samosas, or the month of faluda, or the month of baklawa, or the month of biryani. This is not the month of delicacies and gourmet foods. This is the month in which we come close to Allah. Shahrul Maghfirah, the month in which Allah Azza wa Jal forgives us. Shahrul Rahmah, the month of mercy. Shahrul Quran, the month of Quran, the month in which we strengthen our bond with Allah Azza wa Jal. The month in which we come together in brotherhood and sisterhood. The month of generosity. We should sit with the family and ask them, what is the game plan? What are we going to do different in this month of Ramadan apart from not eating? That is obvious. We are fasting and we will not be eating from dawn to sunset. But apart from fasting, what else are we going to do different to make the best use of this upcoming month of Ramadan? Before we go on a family vacation, we plan with our family, what are we going to do the first day? What are we going to do the second day? What are we going to do the third day? Where are we going to have lunch? Where are we going to have dinner? So we make the best use of our time when we are on vacation. We should plan with our family. How are we going to come together in Ramadan? When are we going to come together to read Quran, to study the Quran? Maybe study one surah of the Quran together as a family, Surah Kahf or Surah Yasin. Have a competition amongst the children who can memorize more surahs or who can recite more juz of the Quran. This is something that we should think about before the month of Ramadan starts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable all of us to make the best use of the month of Ramadan. May Allah Azza wa Jal make the month of Ramadan a source of forgiveness and itqum minan nar, a source of having our necks saved and salvaged from the fire of Jahannam and entered into Jannah. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa ma alayna illa al balagh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.